Welcome to Leaving Academia. I'm your host, Paulina Cossette. Today's episode is going to be short, direct, and maybe a little uncomfortable, but in the best way possible. If you're an academic business owner who's been racking your brain over how to grow your business and make more money, you probably keep coming back to the old assumptions of, I just need more clients, or I just need better marketing skills. If this is you, I want you to pause for a second and listen to what I'm about to say. The gap between where you are in your business right now and $100,000 in revenue is not about working more hours or serving more clients. It is also not about discovering some secret marketing tactic. What is necessary to hit this milestone is shifting your thinking. You have to stop thinking like a small-time freelancer and start thinking like a six-figure CEO. I'm going to break down what that means and how you can get there inside this episode. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Leaving Academia, Becoming a Freelance Editor, the podcast. I'm your host, Paulina Cossette. In 2019, I was a political science professor who was fed up with the stress and hostility of academia, not to mention the low pay. I left my tenure-track job and went from barely surviving to thriving as a freelance academic editor. Today, I own Acadia Editing Services, an editing and coaching business that brings in six figures a year. In this podcast, I'll discuss the challenges of academia, what academic editing involves, and what life as a freelancer looks like. If you're willing to jump outside your comfort zone, it is possible to find joy, true flexibility, and a profitable and rewarding career as an academic editor. Thanks for listening.
When I say you could make $100,000 in the next 12 months, what comes up for you? Do you think, yeah, that's doable? Do you feel cautiously curious, like, maybe, but I'm not sure I totally buy this? Or does it feel completely far-fetched or maybe even a little nauseating? Maybe you're feeling your chest tighten and the anxiety building up inside you. Whatever reaction you're having, that's data for you to ponder. The automatic thoughts that you have in response to that statement, that you can earn $100,000 in a year, whatever they are, they're showing you what your belief system is right now. And belief, more than your editing speed, your credentials, or even your marketing plan, is what determines whether or not you actually achieve this income goal. So here's the hard truth. The reason most editors and coaches don't hit six figures has nothing to do with their talent or skills. Rather, it has everything to do with your belief structure and the way you've been conditioned to think about work and money, especially if you've spent years in academia. Think about it. In academia, we're told that more work equals more worth. Teach more classes, advise more students, publish more articles. The expectations, if you even know what they are, keep growing. It's no wonder that we consistently overdeliver while our paychecks stagnate. You're also rewarded in academia for giving your expertise away for free. Mentoring students and junior colleagues, peer review, service to our department, university, discipline, and community. The list of things we're supposed to do gets longer every year, but again, we see no pay raises. Finally, academia teaches us that we are noble thought leaders, imparting priceless knowledge on the next generation. Being a professor is a place of honor. We are lucky to be here. Moreover, it's implied that the future of the world depends on us. And if we don't produce research, teaching, service, the collapse of society and the end of knowledge as we know it will be our fault. Well, newsflash. We've been giving everything we have to our jobs and things aren't going so well. So maybe all these stories that we've been told are just a scam. Maybe, and I know this is a huge stretch, so bear with me, maybe higher education, instead of being a shining city upon a hill, is actually a cog in the capitalist system that's driven by money and the bottom line. even when an institution is a nonprofit. Because, let's be honest, your administrators aren't having trouble putting food on the table. And so all this time that they're convincing you to publish more, to teach another new prep, to serve on another committee, to stay later and later at faculty meetings that drag on for hours and produce nothing, they're working behind the scenes to cancel your COLA or to cut your programs. And many of them are still bringing home multiple six figures. So let's start this process of believing that we truly are capable of earning six figures by letting go of these stories that we've been told for so many years and that we've just accepted as truth. Because they're not truth. They're a distortion and a corruption of what education is supposed to be for society. They're capitalist lies. They tell us that we have to work and work and work, and that we don't have to fight for a pay raise because the money's just not available. It's not true. Now, something I teach inside my program, Becoming an Academic Editor, or BAE, which, by the way, does not just serve editors. More and more members of our community are using their academic skills to build coaching and consulting businesses. But something I teach is how you should treat yourself once you're operating outside academia. I know many of you are not ready to leave your current academic role yet, or maybe you don't plan to leave at all. That's fine. But if you're going to run a business, you have to respect yourself. What does that mean? It means setting boundaries. Number one, we do not work for free. Number two, we do not set our pricing from a place of guilt or because we feel badly for asking people to pay us. So, listen, I don't care if you're doing your first editing job or working with your first coaching client. I don't care if it's a former student or a friend or a colleague. I don't care if the client writes to you and wants you to edit an additional page or even an additional paragraph without paying you for it. Or maybe they want you to take a second look at their paper, even though your fee includes just one round of edits. Do not work for free. You are an experienced academic with an ungodly number of hours of education and probably also teaching and publishing experience. The knowledge and skills that you bring to your business on day one are tremendous and valuable. Do not work for free. Number two, in setting boundaries, don't set your pricing out of guilt. When you're deciding how to price your services, I want you to aim for $100 an hour. And that's a hard minimum when you're a coach. If you're an editor, it can take time to build up to that because you have to get used to editing projects, Microsoft Word, getting faster at getting through your workflow. But definitely when you're a coach, you have to start at $100 an hour. Don't think, oh, but they're a poor professor, they don't have money, no one's going to pay for this. Or earning $100 an hour is way too much for me to earn for this work. In the first scenario, you're making assumptions about who the person is and how they choose to spend their money. But the amount of money in your client's bank account is none of your business, nor is how they choose to spend it. As for the second scenario, thinking that you're earning too much for the work you're doing, what I want you to focus on is the value that you're providing to the client. So let me give you some examples here. If you're spending 8 to 10 hours formatting and editing someone's journal article so they can finally get it submitted after months of it sitting in a heap on their desk or being buried in their desktop folder labeled to do, we all have one of those, right? What is that worth to them? What is that sense of relief worth? When you take the project off their plate and they get to spend the weekend playing with their kids instead of working yet again, what is that worth to them? Or if you're editing someone's tenure packet or their cover letter for their application to their dream job, think about how much better you're going to make those things for them. What is that worth to them to potentially get tenure or land an interview because you polish their materials? What is it worth to the grad student who's on the verge of quitting for you to coach them through the final months of their dissertation process so they don't quit and they do graduate? What's that worth to someone? A lot, my friends. That is the answer. I'm serious. It is worth thousands of dollars, and people pay it. Finally, a third part of respecting yourself in business is no longer believing the stories that you've told yourself about money. Just like with what I talked about at the start of this episode, when I asked you what feelings come up for you when I tell you that you can make $100,000 in a year, whatever thoughts or feelings that you're experiencing right now about what I'm saying about these boundaries, not working for free, charging more money, those are just stories that your brain is telling you to try to keep you safe. You have spent a lifetime building up these stories in your mind about money, how much you deserve to earn, or how much money it's possible for you to earn, how much money other people are able or willing to pay for services like editing and coaching, all of these things. But they're just stories. They're your beliefs, and they are not necessarily grounded in reality. Maybe some of these stories sound like, if I raise my rates, no one will hire me. Have you ever told yourself that before? Or, I have to spend extra time, say more than 15 minutes, on Zoom with a potential client answering all of their questions before asking for the sale, or they won't say yes. What about, if I don't spend hours making this document perfect, the client will be unhappy and won't hire me again? The big one that gets a lot of people is this. No one would pay $5,000 for 6 months of coaching. I know, when I first discovered the world of online courses and coaching as an academic, I was baffled that anyone would pay thousands of dollars for a course or to hire a coach. But they do, my friends, they do. These are very common stories that people tell themselves that keep them stuck under $100,000 a year. And believe me, I had to work through this too. I told myself all of these same things as I was working my way to build my business. But because we are all good scientists, what do we need to do? We go to the data. So here's the truth. This is data for you. This is real data. Editors who charge what you charge or hire are fully booked. Here's another data point. This is true. A client once paid me $10,000 out of pocket to do multiple rounds of editing for her book. And she expressed endless gratitude when I finished. She even sent me a thank you note, handwritten in the mail, and a copy of her book. I am not the only editor who has had experiences like this. People will pay a lot of money for editing and coaching. There are also coaches out there who are easily making $100,000 a year or more, working just 20 to 25 hours a week. Many of them make multiple six figures or even seven figures. Many business coaches charge $20,000 a year or more for one-on-one coaching, and people pay it. So when you make decisions from a place of fear, because you're afraid you're going to lose the client, you're afraid you're not going to have business, you stay in scarcity. When you rely on your assumptions and the stories you've been telling yourself, your business will never grow. But when you make decisions from data, you see what's working for other people and what's truly possible for you too. You experiment, you test the market, you take chances, and that is how you grow. Once you've worked through these mindset blocks and these stories that you've been telling yourself, let me give you these 3 concrete steps that you can take to help you get to that 6-figure goal. Okay, step 1. Price your services based on value, not hours. Your expertise saves clients time, stress, and often years of stalled progress, whether this is publishing or finishing their dissertation or writing their book or whatever it is that you work in. So price your services accordingly. The next time that someone inquires about your services, I want you to quote them 20% more than what you normally would. See if they agree to it. Just treat it as an experiment. It's one client. Then do it again. You get another inquiry. Let's say that first person says yes to the 20% increase. You get another inquiry. Try again, that 20% increase of your rate. If you get a string of people saying yes to this new rate, start with the next one going 20% higher. See how high you can go. See if they bite. If you start getting 3 or 4 people in a row saying no to your new pricing, then you know you've hit a ceiling. Just try. It's an experiment. You're collecting data. But I want to caution you here to not give up on this strategy too soon. If you're charging low rates, and to me, for editors, the EFA rate chart is low. If you're new to editing, the Editorial Freelancers Association, the EFA, has a rate chart. I'll link to it in the show notes. But my experience is that those rates are way too low for an experienced editor to charge. So if you're charging in that range, say 4 to 5 cents a word for a copy or line edit for academic editing, and people are still turning you down, the problem is not the pricing. That doesn't mean that you should drop your prices to 2 or 3 cents a word. Please don't do that. It's something about your offer or the way that you're communicating it to the clients. You are not being clear enough in the benefits that the clients are going to get when they work with you. Because, let me say this again, the EFA rate chart for editors is low. You should, if you're an experienced editor, you should be charging much more than what the EFA rate chart shows. Many people do. I do. I have friends who do, who are editors, and we're fully booked out and have no issues. So if you're struggling with this, if you feel like you're charging a low rate and people are still not hiring you, please get in touch. You can email me. Let's talk about it. Reach out. I'm happy to talk this over with you because I think the problem is not your pricing, it is your messaging. Step 2 in making progress towards being a six-figure CEO. Invest in systems and support before you feel ready. If you're an editor, pay for software like Perfected. Spend the time learning macros to speed up your editing. Set up Word's auto text tool or text expander so you don't have to waste time writing the same comments over and over again in a document. Download Beef Text, that's free software for PCs, or use text expander to save email templates so you don't have to type out the same emails all the time. All of these things will save you time and thereby help you increase your income and grow your business. I'll link to all of these things in the show notes if you've never heard of them. Pay for an accountant to do your taxes. It's worth the money. Choose an email service provider like Kit and learn how to create a lead magnet and set up an email welcome sequence and start building your email list to nurture your potential clients. All of these things are part of running a successful and growing business. Yes, they will cost you time. Some of them will cost you money. But your business is not going to grow if you don't start investing in it. Along with this, invest in support. We are out here telling our clients that they should pay us thousands of dollars for us to support them and help them to achieve their goals. But what about us? Who is supporting us and helping us hit our quarterly and annual goals? Get a business coach. I wish I had done this years sooner. I have a business coach now, and she's wonderful. But I wish I had found someone years ago. Your coach doesn't have to be an editor. They don't have to do the exact same kind of work that you do. They just have to be someone that you click with, who you trust. Be honest with them about your fears and your doubts. Let them support you through this. Pay them for this time and energy and knowledge that they will share with you. You deserve support, and this will pay off for you in a huge way. Step 3, related to this point about support. In your CEO journey, you need to connect with other people in your industry or something similar to it. So people in editing and coaching, people who are solopreneurs, people who run other service-based businesses. Get to know them. Be kind. Share your struggles. Ask questions. Give support. You certainly can get to 6 figures alone, but I have to tell you, it is a lot more fun to have friends to talk with along the way. This costs you nothing but your time, and you will feel renewed, You'll have more energy. You'll love your work more. You'll spark new ideas and help other people do the same. And you'll have a community or a small group to support you through the tough times. And there are tough times. Create a Voxer group, set up monthly or quarterly Zoom meetings, whatever feels right for you and your little group. Just do it. Make some business friends. So here's your turning point. I want you to decide right now that you are capable of earning $100,000 in a year. And I want you to put a deadline on that. Maybe you're going to make it happen in 2026. Or maybe you've got a lot going on right now. Maybe you're a caregiver, or you have young children, or you're still in your full-time job. So maybe it's going to take a little longer before you can shift into this level of commitment. Only you know your situation. But whatever it is, set a deadline right now. What is the time frame where you will make $100,000? And working toward this, I want you to set the boundaries that we talked about. No working for free, no undercharging and overdelivering. You're going to consistently raise your rates. No more fear, no more self-doubt. You've got this. You can do this. Yes, it will feel uncomfortable. It should. Growth is uncomfortable. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not changing. You're stagnating. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Amy Porterfield is a multi-seven-figure coach for online course creators. She always says, you have to learn to love what it takes to get what you want. You have to learn to love what it takes to get what you want. So here's your homework. The next time you're making a decision in your business, ask yourself, what would the six-figure version of me do right now? And then do that, even if it makes you nervous. Okay. If you're ready to leave your money stories behind and adopt a six-figure CEO mindset, if you've decided that you want to learn the exact systems to land clients and set your rates and scale without burning out, that is exactly what I teach inside BAE. We don't just talk about mindset. We pair it with clear, proven systems that help you grow your business with confidence. And you don't have to do it alone. There's over 70 people who are already part of our community of academic entrepreneurs. If you're just starting to think about what kind of business you might like to build using the academic skills you already have, the link to my new freebie, Map Your Academic Business, is in the show notes. Go download that right now. That workbook will walk you through some prompts to help you think about the type of business that you would love to build, one that fits around your life instead of your life having to fit into your work. And it will show you a business that will help make you money, again, with the skills that you already have. If you already have an academic business and you want support in implementing these steps that I've been talking about today, and that will help you get on that path to being a six-figure CEO, send me an email and let's discuss how we can work together, either one-on-one or in a small group. You can reach me at paulina@acadiaediting.com. I'd love to hear from you. That's it for today. Like I said, it's short, powerful, and hopefully enough of an identity shift to make you feel just a little bit uncomfortable. Let this be the episode you look back on and say, that's when I decided to make six figures a reality, because the only person who can decide to achieve this is you. I'll see you next week.
If you're unhappy in academia and you think you might be a good editor or writing coach, check out my course, Becoming an Academic Editor. This digital course is paired with a 12-week group coaching program to support you through your decision to leave academia or not, and to start building a profitable and rewarding academic editing business. Learn more by going to acadiaediting.com/become an editor. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time.